Now, it's weird to think that I've been part of the Undertale fandom for 7 years. In that time, I've seen a lot of different things that have come from the fandom. Some good and some bad. Not only have I seen a lot of interesting things, but I've experienced a lot of different things as well. So today, I was thinking of looking back on my time as an Undertale fan and talking about not only old media that I used to love watching, but also stories of odd things that happened while I was in my early Undertale phase. Anyways, as I'm writing out this script, I'm realizing that this video might get pretty cringy, so if I know you personally in real life, I beg of you to stop watching now because bringing up the past can be pretty embarrassing. Anyways, without further ado, let's get started. Now, I don't know how it is now, but back in the day, there were a lot of Undertale songs all over the internet. Some of these were soundtrack related, but the ones I remember were the parodies of other songs. It was similar to those Minecraft parodies that were popular in 2013. There was one creator that I remember named Starbeam, and that channel had a ton of parodies that I remember listening to back in the day. I used to put these songs on while gaming with my friends, unironically. Cut me some slack, I was like 10. Anyways, a lot of these Undertale parodies were, for the most part, great. But by far the most iconic Undertale parody is the Sans Stronger Than You parody made by Alpha995. I have no idea how it got so popular, but the fact that it got more views than the original song makes it so iconic. Anyways, that video seemed to have spawned quite a number of response videos that essentially create a duet when mashed together. Me and my friends watched a ton of these back in the day, and an old personal favorite of mine was this lyrical version of It's Raining Somewhere Else by this channel called DJ Smell. Anyways, these parodies and original songs were pretty darn good, and I feel like many Undertale fans came around to the game because of these songs. Now, after I finished Undertale, I had this feeling of unsatisfaction. It was like eating dinner and still feeling hungry afterwards. Don't get me wrong, I was fine with the ending, but that Undertale itch still needed to be scratched. I remember I was so obsessed with the game that I would play games like Roblox and Zelda, and I would refuse to attack anything because I was really into the pacifist run, and I just kept dying to people. God, I was a stupid kid. I decided to turn to the internet for new Undertale content to absorb, and that was when I discovered Undertale Fan Games for the first time, and from that point on, I was hooked. One of the first quote-unquote fan games I played was one I found on Roblox called Checho's Undertale Roleplay. Now I know this isn't really a traditional Undertale fan game, but hey, I saw the game and thought, I like Roblox and I like Undertale, so why the heck not? The game ended up paving the way for my love of role-playing, and I have no idea if that was a good thing or a bad thing. I remember a lot of interesting and weird characters in that game, and if you want me to go over some stories about my time in that game specifically, leave a comment. Or don't, I'll probably just make a video on it myself. Besides Roblox, a lot of channels played these fan games from an Undertale battle engine called Unitale. I remember a couple, like the Genocide Office fight and the Neo Monster Kid one, because those two made young me very scared. One that really freaked me out when I was younger was the Snowman boss fight, and every single time I replayed Undertale, I absolutely refused to eat the snowman piece. One creator that I constantly watched was this guy named Merg. He had a ton of videos of him playing Undertale fan games that I still remember to this day. Overall, I had some great memories of these Undertale fan games, and from what I've seen, they just keep getting better and better. God damn, there were so many good Undertale animations I remember when I was younger. There was a ton of Sans vs. Kara ones, an Undyne the Undying one, two extremely well-made Mettaton ones, a Muffet one, and a Temiflakes one that I will not elaborate on. Now, when I was doing research for this video, I was thinking to myself, I was young when I watched these videos. My standards were pretty low back then. I thought these wouldn't be that good now that it's 2023, but nope. These animations are still incredible and made me realize that the Undertale fandom has genuinely talented people in it. Thinking about it now, I understand why that Sans Stronger Than You video got so many views, because it was really well animated. If it wasn't for all these amazing and talented animators, I might have not liked Undertale as much as I did. There was a ton of variety to the types of Undertale content on YouTube. You had the fan games and animations, but you also had the shorts compilations, comic dubs, and animatic parodies. These short compilations were just a large number of, well, Undertale shorts. These things ranged from memes to comics to even small snippets of animation. I remember pulling all-nighters with my cousins just binging these shorts, and we loved them so much that when we watched all of them, we'd just start over the process and watch them all over again. The animatics were also pretty interesting because they were what introduced me to a comedian I really like now named John Mulaney. Out of all the things I remember about my old Undertale phase, I look back on the animatics and shorts compilations most frequently. I remember those the most fondly because they give me the best memories. They were times when I genuinely didn't have a care in the world, and I miss that. Alright, well that's about it for today's video. I will always associate Undertale with good memories, and I will never regret becoming a fan of the game. After finishing this script and looking back on it, I feel like that I probably shouldn't feel embarrassed about who I was back then, because at the end of the day, I grew and changed as a person. And if I feel cringy about who I was back then, that means I've grown. Also, I was a literal child, so there's that too. Anyways, I hope you all like this video, and I will see you all in the next.